McDonald,
Thank you to Surf.
this is Cash Jordan. I've seen this dude's videos every once in a while. This is back a month ago. I don't know if there's been, I don't know if there's a more, like, recent one, but I've been wanting to watch this one, so we're gonna watch this one. So it's a little bit late on the news, but whatever. This is in New York City. I've been hearing that New York City's been doing, like, really, really bad when it comes to, like, crime. Like, when there was, like, a whole bunch of, like, motorcycle drive-by crimes. I say that, that was the weirdest way to say it. But, like, where they basically, like, drive with a motorcycle, and they stop right next to you, and they, like, take your jewelry, like, they got, like, a force multiplier, and they're like, hey, give me your stuff, and your wallet, and they'll be like, oh, no, and then you'll give them the stuff, and then they motorcycle away. But it's like, if you're like, eating on an outside restaurant, you know?
Sponsoring this video.
Well, a owner of a McDonald's says that he is tired of unruly young people terrorizing his restaurant, and now he's forcing customers to show their ID to get inside, and anyone under the age of 20.
Damn. Is that because of the TikToks? A bunch of Johnny Sommeliers trying to, like, get inside a McDonald's?
Has started carding people to try and limit gang activity, but
gang activity. Damn, I love McDonald's is gonna start having bouncers now. Wow, you know what? Do it. I don't even care anymore. It's at this point, it's getting like, if people can't freaking like just act right, you get me?
it's not the only location in town reeling from an increase in crime. Some restaurants have rolled out security guards to keep the bad guys from coming inside and enjoying their own version of a happy meal, while others are barely hanging on as they display the visible signs of a society that's collapsing all around them. Kinda like this one right behind me.
But most customers say the age restriction is a good thing, and so are the 3 security guards posted at the entrances, because teenagers...
I'll be honest with you, I mean, I don't know about the age restriction. That just seems like a little exaggerated, you get me? It's freaking hysterical, though. But I'm all for extra security. Like, what there should just be. I can't understand how, like, there used to be such an amazing network of, like, a security company would team up with, like, a property and make sure all the buildings there had security. And it's slowly turned into, like, one security guard for the entire property. And it's like, what the hell are you gonna defend? You can't be at every single restaurant at the same time.
Nearby high schools have turned the fast...
The security is basically just there to show up after the crime's been committed and call the police for you.
...restaurant into a local fight club.
McDonald's locations are all too often...
They turned it into a fight club?
And both the victims and perpetrators can often be young.
They were panicking. Yeah. Some of the guys were calling somebody were calling 911, and then like in a few minutes, the police...
Oh, damn!
I don't know why people pick this as their fight location, but it's unfair. They're crazy in this McDonald's, and they do too much. They jump people, jump delivery workers, jump the security.
They snatch your stuff, they're cussing like a sailor. You can't turn around and say nothing to them. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta know when to shut your mouth.
The teens add they're used to being ID'd since the Target around the corner also...
I know, it's funny, too, because there's a lot of people that are just like, so what? Because they're, like, rebellious little freaking teenagers on the internet. It's like... It's not the problem. It's like you're just a douche, but like all these people are just trying to get a freaking McDonald's. Like let them get a freaking McDonald's. Like go freaking there's like a million places you could go and just like smack each other around. Go do that at the park. Also when I was a kid, you went to the park to smack each other around, and like Fight Club was at the park. You didn't do it instead of a freaking McDonald's. Get the freaking, what are you doing at McDonald's, fool? What are you gonna get a Big Mac after you're done smacking each other around, you idiot? Like it's just stupid.
Doesn't allow those under 18 in without an adult.
Like why do other people gotta freaking like not be able to get a McDonald's because you're freaking being a douche? You get me? Like, and if you really think this is like okay and you're like fine, it's just because you're probably some freaking immature like idiot basically that doesn't freaking like hasn't freaking grown up past middle school, or you are in middle school probably.
29 times this year, 29 times, and it's not even March yet.
Crime in New York is now so bad that soon businesses could all have to start checking ID. But what nobody's talking about is that many McDonald's in this city have become problematic hotspots for crime, and it's been that way for a long time. And the problems in these stores mirror what's going on in our subway system.
It's specifically McDonald's, huh? Because McDonald's are just the place to be.
However, this isn't the fault of the brand or the
Turn up at Mickey D's after school, honk.
majority of law-abiding McDonald's customers, or even the
Frickin'
store
A, what is
employees
society
who are on the
turning
front
into?
lines of New York City's losing battle against street crime, which unfortunately manifests itself in a variety of ways. We're talking crazed maniacs
Not
who try
easy.
to jump the counter, gangs who
Are they,
use
like,
these
failing or
places
something, I
as
heard?
target practice, and the former governor of New York, David Patterson, was even attacked in front of a McDonald's this past summer. But while the
Really?
company is doing everything it can to limit how close its employees actually need to get to customers with things like app-based technology and touch-style ordering kiosks, danger still works its way into the front door of some of these locations.
Nah, and I'll be real with you, bro. As somebody who like was working in that like with customers and somebody who was manager of that stuff, screw customers, bro. Sometimes they just really be coming in just to like unleash their anger out on you.
Brings us to the real reason these places are both hotspots for crime and magnets for gang activity. They're located in a city that would rather enable its criminals than punish them. Which became frighteningly obvious last fall when a McDonald's in Manhattan's exclusive Upper West Side was over.
Yeah, what is the deal with that? I need to look more into this, because I've heard like very similar to a lot of the BS that was happening even here in LA. They have like exclusions for like criminals now.
Run by gang members during a street fight, causing
For
that
specific
entire
crimes,
restaurant
for
to
like
be evacuated with
lower end
customers
crimes,
leaving their
basically.
half-eaten meals behind. And as you're about to see, a bunch of these places have crime problems that are so bad, checking ID won't stop them.
Bro, they're gonna have to start using those freaking, you know, those bank doors where it's like one door and then it's like a boxed room and then you have to like wait to be buzzed into the next room.
What is up with the orange juice here? Why is it so concentrated? I actually like it. It's full of sugar. But I will tell you, while I feel safe hanging out inside this
Nah, McDonald's used to start buying those like machines where it like freshly squeezes the damn thing.
McDonald's, the other one I was at earlier, there was something going on with that place. I always see people selling stuff to each other, doing something outside or inside. There's people sleeping all over the place, and they're adults, so carting them won't keep them out.
One McDonald's in Brooklyn is barring anyone under the age of 20 from entering their restaurant without an accompanying adult.
A sign went up on the door and
Here in LA, what I used to do is when I was working in like in fixing like stuff, I would like drive out in like a car and then I would like meet up with the customer at like a McDonald's and I'd buy french fries and then I would like fix their phone at the McDonald's table. And then I'd like that was pretty much it. Like it was all prepaid. It was like for insurance. So I would just fix it and then like they'd be on their way and then I'd enjoy my french fries. And then I'd like pretty much just enjoy my french fries while I waited, and then I wouldn't mark that I was done with the repair until after the french fries were done.
announcing the policy change.
And then I go to my
last
next
week, and it comes
like
after
visit.
several incidents at that
For
location.
more french
So
fries!
this particular location in Brooklyn, I've been there.
Bro,
It's
I just
by
be
a
getting
whole
small
bunch of
french fries all
stores,
freaking
and
day.
It is kind of a rowdy location, but apparently their main problem is with large gangs of teenagers congregating inside the store, and they're not the only business with this problem. The Target nearby that location's also started carting people, and there are some malls in this city that won't allow anybody in without a parent if they're under 18 either. But before we get into why
Oh, I didn't even know that.
particular location is so dangerous and why some of the other locations
I mean, here we also have similar, like, somewhat similar in some malls, where it's like after 8 o'clock, I think it's like after 8 or 9 o'clock, it's a curfew.
locations in town have such extreme problems, it's important to understand how insane it is that a store has to ban its own customers in order to keep its doors open. Because that right there is the problem that underpins every single issue these stores are having. For example, the Upper West Side McDonald's that was taken over by gangs on Halloween after weapons were used just outside the restaurant, it's in an area where there were never any police, but where there was lots of gang activity taking place. And since the city won't stop the gang activity, it sometimes makes its way inside these places. And as you're about to see, there are some instances where checking ID won't do anything to stop even people who are under 18 from taking over these restaurants.
He says there were about 5 or 6 people running toward the McDonald's.
They were panicking. Yeah. Some of the guys were calling somebody were calling 911, and then like in a few minutes, the
The police came. The police?
So that right there is the aftermath of a street fight that took place outside of a McDonald's in what many would consider to be a nice neighborhood that then made its way inside the very store, forcing everyone to leave and the police and an ambulance to arrive. And when armed
Wait, so it started outside and ended up inside?
Business, I'm not really sure what one or two security guards checking ID are going to be able to do about that. However, having
they stopped the fight
in
from getting
these
inside.
is almost a necessity in such a high-crime city, because the last thing you want is for gangs to be congregating and plotting from inside the very restaurant. That's just going to act as a magnet for more criminal activity. And you certainly don't want people selling things that are illegal in these places either. And that right there is the big problem that a lot of the places in the area I'm in are experiencing.
But most customers say the age restriction is a good thing, and so are the 3 security guards posted at the entrances, because teenagers from nearby high schools have turned the fast food restaurant into a local fight club.
I don't know why people pick this as their fight location.
Bro, imagine McDonald's having to hire security guards, bro.
Fair.
So what's really unfair is that
it's like one thing that was good, 3
in
one McDonald's
to police itself, and it's up to customers inside these places to watch their backs. And
why is the city not doing jack squat about that? Like, how is it that that's like?
if you thought McDonald's prices were too high, think of what a local restaurant's going to have to charge if they have to hire a security team. Those security guards' paychecks are coming out of the pockets of the customers, and it just creates a ripple effect. First, the store has to charge more money to keep itself secure, and after the amount of money that it charges goes up, the second thing that happens is less people are going to shop there, eat there, you know what I mean? And as
why don't they like put more
doors,
police all over the place?
Get more lax with who it lets in, and then the criminal element out on our streets is going to find its way inside once again. It's a losing battle that our businesses are fighting, and they're not equipped to fight this battle alone. They should be getting help from the city, but they're not. And as you're about to see, just putting on the outfit of a security guard and going to one of these places, that right there could make you a target for criminals who fear nothing.
They're crazy in this McDonald's, and they do too much. They jump people, jump delivery workers, jump the security.
Some point out
they jump the security guards? What the?
The children need a place to congregate and after-school options. And locals tell Fox 5 a new recreation center should be opening soon. But NYC...
Okay, so if the people...
How come the police don't like do anything?
In the McDonald's,
well, they should get more
jumping
police.
The security guard, I'm not sure
like
they're going to qualify
with
on a
police.
behavioral level to be allowed into whatever rec center we need to stop gang activity from happening. And to be honest with you, this isn't really an access to resources problem, even though that's how local progressives want to spin it. Here in Midtown, they blame every problem making its way from the streets into our businesses on a lack of resources. Not enough rec centers, not enough after-school programs, not enough treatment facilities, not enough outreach workers. But here in an area of town,
I don't know how that, I mean, that's cool and all, but like, why don't we get more police to like arrest these dudes?
Town that has a notorious crime
they got
problem.
cameras?
You have a plethora of treatment facilities all down the street from stores like the one I'm sitting in right now, which locals say just act as a magnet for criminal activity. And that's because if you're going to give out free resources, but you're not going to also give out consequences for dangerous, disruptive behavior, those resources are just going to enable more of that behavior. And the crime problems you've got are just going to get worse. Today's stories reveal that we live in a world that is out to get us from the very moment we wake up and open up our smart devices. Which is why I'm excited to tell you about today's video sponsor, Surfshark. Because online security starts with a VPN, a virtual private network which allows you to safely and privately access the web on an unlimited number of devices.
Nice. You can also use this on Crunchyroll and on Netflix, so you can get like a bunch of extra animes.
Because everyone is spying on you, including your internet service provider who may be selling off your personal information. And with so many unmonitored, unsafe places like random coffee shops and even the New York City subway offering free Wi-Fi, you'll want to protect yourself from people who are trying to intercept your banking credentials. And the best part about Surfshark is that a single subscription works simultaneously on multiple devices and protects your entire household. Plus, Surfshark comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can see how well it works for yourself. Every phone, every smart...
That's pretty good, actually, because so some of the cheaper ones,
smart TV,
the internet
Linux.
slows down.
Why do I still have this? And
so getting like the free trial, like do it, because that way you could make sure it's not like
4 extra months of Surfshark.
Oh, he didn't tie his shoes. You saw how he didn't tie his shoes?
So
Was that
here we are
crackhead
inside
yoga?
Penn Station, the scene of an ongoing humanitarian crisis beneath the streets that we were just standing on.
And critics say part of the reason for that is because people are allowed to engage in whatever type of criminal behavior they want in a public setting and absolutely nothing ever happens to them. Plus, this is a neighborhood with tons of resources available for free, which are here to supposedly help people.
And if you're gonna let people be criminals while giving them free resources, that's just gonna enable the criminal lifestyle they've decided to engage in. And this isn't limited to just what you see going on down here. Oh no.
They're reckless and as ruthless of a crew as we've seen.
And they're young, some as young as 11 years old. Police say they first targeted Central Park this summer, and now Times Square is their playground.
So here we have a gang of teenagers who live in one of the city's asylum shelters. Now, they get to live there for free, and their ability to live there is not in jeopardy if they use that place as a facility to plan and commit crime all over town, which is what they're doing as members of a very dangerous gang.
But in New York, we passed a law called Raise the Age, and what it says is that people aren't criminals even if they commit crime if they're under 18. And that's why you've got an unstoppable crime problem.
Why? That's like a get out of jail free card to criminals. That's just what?
Problem in Midtown. That's why you've got an unstoppable crime problem at some McDonald's that now have to ban teenagers. That's the only way to stop the problem, because people can be inside a McDonald's or out on the streets, do whatever they want, get transferred to the back of a police car, and then they get released back to whoever their guardian is.
And while local progressives...
Well, at that point, they're just gonna pull a... Like, why wouldn't they just pull a Breaking Bad, where, like, they start to hire... Like, the real criminals start to hire the teenagers to commit the crimes for them, because then the kids can't, like, be taken to jail. You get me?
Love to talk about how these laws keep
it's like a classic thing
out of jail
they,
and out
they've
of
always
a
done
life
this.
of crime. On the other hand,
you hire a kid to go deliver the goods.
These
and,
laws
like, traffic
just
the money
enable
back.
criminals to do the same thing over and over again.
Which is bad, because practice just hardens and trains criminals, teaching them how to engage with law enforcement and how to evade arrest next time.
Because if nothing is going to stop someone from committing unlimited amounts of crime, there will always be a next time.
There have already been nearly 30 911 calls to this location in this
30
year, which is set to exceed the past 3 years, during which more than 100 911 calls were made for this location every year. And with that, the new door...
So 911 calls to the McDonald's full of teenage gang members have tripled. Is anyone really surprised, knowing what we now know about how this city operates?
And if no law exists to stop someone from engaging in criminal behavior when they're under the age of 18 and terrorizing people, the only way to keep them out is to just ban them from coming in the first place. Make that against the law. And that is a shame, because if a police car and jail time don't exist as a final consequence of bad behavior, society just ends up paying the price. Now our restaurants become less convenient. Now our streets become less safe. All because we've decided that a criminal element destroying society should be allowed to keep on doing so in the name of social justice.
And the only time...
Why? That just feels stupid to me. Like, I feel like if you don't, like... I mean, how exactly are they, like, in the name of social justice, how exactly are they justifying, like, not prosecuting, like, criminals, exactly? And how are the people of New York not, like, super pissed off?
Time people ever get punished in a society like this is when they do something
like, why don't you vote
bad
somebody
and
in that's gonna, like, do
suffers
something?
Irreparable harm. Is that really the kind of society that we want? Because that's the kind of society we're getting. It's the kind of society we have right now. And nobody's taking what is a massive problem seriously enough here.
Sounds like Gavin Newsom.
Cussing like a sailor. You understand? You can't turn around and say nothing to him. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, they might decide to target you.
So the law-abiding are suffering from a lack of laws. None of the stuff that people are upset about is a crime in the eyes of our legal system. And if you think standing up to these thugs yourself is a good idea, we all know of one guy who almost had his life destroyed by this city when he stood up to somebody who threatened others in a public setting.
And you'd be stupid to think that same fate doesn't await you or anyone who wants to stand up to teenagers who...
Yeah, what you gonna do? You gonna get shanked over a freaking Big Mac? No, you're gonna shut your mouth. You're gonna freaking stand back and let them do whatever the hell they're doing.
Our society's concerned, and everyone in this city knows that if you get into an altercation and
ain't no Spider-Man in this real world.
A place like McDonald's or on the train or on the street, Your best bet is to just surrender. And if you've got a crime problem in your business, the only solution to it is to ban people who are too young to be considered felons. Otherwise...
Nah, see, but that's the thing. What's gonna start to happen is it's gonna start to be, freaking, like, vigilante justice. And it's like, that's when you start to run into issues.
Keeping your doors open to everybody just makes your business a place where criminal activity could explode at any moment.
But it's not entirely clear how the age restriction is being enforced. These high school students walked right in. The security guard even held the door for them.
I mean, we do look like we're probably gonna go get food. It's kind of odd that you're like, oh, you gotta be 20, and then I walked right in.
They had it as 18 at first, and now they put it up to 20 in Brooklyn.
So this store right here, it's got cameras all over the place. All of these stores do, and you know what? Whoever runs that McDonald's that's carding people, they know who the criminals are that are heading into their store causing trouble. And of course, they want as much business as they can get, and they're not gonna deny regular customers who aren't troublemakers or people who don't appear threatening. And of course, once this works, and the security
basically they basically put the 20-year-old like sign just so they can profile people.
Guards let all the nice people in and keep the bad actors out. Some progressive lawmaker is gonna put a stop to it right away because it's working.
And it's hysterical because like because in order to try to make it more like socially like acceptable or socially justified or what social justice it did, they're creating a situation where they're making all the stores in New York more bigoted because they're gonna profile even harder now.
And as our streets continue to get more dangerous and our laws continue allowing petty criminals unlimited second chances at places like McDonald's, local businesses are just gonna have to be creative if they want to exist in a society that's falling apart. Because it doesn't look like we're headed...
No, what's gonna have to happen is just like with like Walmart and stuff, they're gonna have to just pull out, like just remote, like no, don't give New York any more business.
In a direction where the problems happening in our public spaces are ever going to be the city's problem. And as obviously bad as things are right now, it seems like this trend is going to continue until the people who have to live with this on a daily basis realize it and start voting against it. What do you think about that? Are New York City's laws the reason we've got a crime problem here, the reason we've got gang problems inside our McDonald's? And what do you think the proper solution to stopping it is? Should people go to jail? Or are unlimited second chances too few? Should we figure out a way to give people more second chances? Maybe that'll fix it. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.
This is a graph
it's really
of homeless
freaking
people in Japan. Looking at it,
it's really freaking weird the more you think about it. I'm sorry, I freaking dropped this. I never understood that whole thing of like where it's like sudden leave because of whatever reason we want to like punish criminals less? Why? Like, what exactly? Like, what resources are we missing? Exactly. That's like so freaking like such a freaking difficult thing to like figure out or get our hands on. Like, I don't get it. But I did hear about like that whole thing where it's like they wouldn't even like police wouldn't even respond if, like, whatever was stolen, the value of whatever was taken is underneath a certain set value, like, under, like, $1,000, I think it was. And it's just like, why? Like, what? Who? Like, what? How does that improve anybody's life, exactly? How does that improve the quality of life of anybody in New York? It makes no sense to me. It's freaking ridiculous. But a good video. I liked it. Very informative. I love his style. Go check out Cash Jordan. I'm gonna drop a link on the Discord. If you're watching on the VOD, it'll be down in the description below. Thanks for hanging out. Like or dislike, comment, and subscribe. And become a Monodachi today. I live stream all day, Monday through Friday, so go say hi. That's all for now, Monos. Goodbye, and thanks for swinging by. Salut!